Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how to cut spiral steel boning. Most people will be a bit intimidated the first time they get some of this in the mail, so it's basically showing you a way of cutting the bones so that you're less intimidated, because it's a lot cheaper to buy it on the roll than it is to buy them individually, and it's a lot more practical because you don't have to then wait till you've made half the corset to be able to order the bones, then wait for them to arrive, and that can be a bit of a pain. If you buy bones, they look a bit like this, so just going to show this. They already come tipped, so these ones are tipped with the just sort of tipping fluid, which is usually used when you're using the flat steels. They can also come with these on the end. These are sort of horseshoe shaped metal U-tips, which you can apply either using a set of die, which cost about £100 each, which is about $160, or think about maybe €130. You get the roll. You can see here I've already put a U-tip on the end of this just because you basically don't want the sharp ends of it to poke through the fabric. You can also use zinc oxide tape, which is the kind of tape you get when you're taping a plaster down, which is like a medical tape, which is, well, again, comes on a roll, so it's quite useful, and you don't have to buy them specifically in the width to match the boning then. I already measured the length I need, which is about just over 27.5 centimetres, so if I get my tape measure here. Measure from the end. Yeah. Kind of cheated, but I don't know if just film this a little closer. I've just marked with permanent marker there. It's red, it's kind of wearing off now, but it's marked where I need to cut the bone. There are different types of tin snips you can use for this, or bolt cutters. If you're getting this type, you need to make sure the edges here are serrated, so can I just get a close-up of that? It's got a bumpy edge, so it will grip rather than the bone slipping through it. Those ones really are only very good for cutting spiral steel, so you would need a separate pair to do flat steel with, and this is about the 4th or 5th pair I've had over the years. They kind of tend to break, and when the serrated edge goes, then they are no good. So they're kind of good, but do wear out more quickly than other types. The type I'm using today is one that I can use with both flats and spirals. The way they open means that basically they're quite powerful ones. Not so easy to work with because of how long the handle is, making it a bit less accurate, but I can't find the pair I prefer to use, so I'm kind of going to use these ones for now. Also makes it a bit easier to record. So what I'm going to do, when you look at the spirals, it's like somebody's got a spring and flattened it, so you want to snip one side here, and then also on the other side, and it will leave you with a little pair of metal horns which you then trim down. I can't use these ones for that because of the fact they're not accurate enough, but if I put the U-tip on the end, then that would solve that problem anyway. So I'm going to line this up here. Can't really do this in the light so much, so sorry if you can't see very well. Get it just on that end one there and push down. That's got that one. Just going to do that. You can see it's got, that now comes open, so that's severed that. Okay. Now I'm going to do the other side. It's the same thing again. I've got this marked on both sides, so I know I'm going to be opening it up. If it doesn't quite come off, just give it a bit of a twist to snap. I now need to trim this with a more accurate set of pliers. Now that's where a set like this would come in handy. I don't think these are going to work, but if I show you, you would then be able to really get in there and snip that. These ones are really, they've had it, so excuse that, it is a lot easier than I'm making it look. If you're putting a U-tip on, at this point you would then put this on. Using 2 pairs of pliers you'd clamp it in place. If not, you get the tape and wrap it around the ends so that the ends, because they're quite sharp, they would poke through the fabric and would end up ripping the corset. You then end up, I think these are going to be different lengths quite drastically, but really not much difference between the two. This one is slightly thinner anyway, but this will have worked out a lot cheaper than this one, and in the long run, if you're making more than the odd corset, it's going to be a lot cheaper to just cut your own. Hopefully that was useful, and I will also put up some pictures of the same so that if you didn't get clear images there, you'll be able to have a look at them in a bit more detail. Thanks very much.